Hey guys, my name is Bryce Paden and I am with Riverside USD 114, and I want to talk to you guys about parental rights and what that means, not only for you as a parent, from the school side as well. So dating back in the history of the parental rights, um, it's an idea that has been understood and acknowledged for a very, very long time. Obviously, talked about basic principles and common law of parents, and what that means is obligations to the child and their upbringing dates all the way back to Adam and Eve, um, with God. And here quote here, Supreme Court of the U.S. in 2000 declared that the liberty interest of parents in the care, custody, control of their parent or their children is perhaps the oldest fundamental liberty that they recognize in the court. So that's pretty big of them to start out that. Okay. One law or act that came to my mind for this would be the IDEA, which stands for the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, that came in 2004. This essentially provided safeguards to help both the schools and parents develop the individualized plans for their child. Consists of important procedures that the school must follow, changing a child's IEP, or trying to resolve disputes in the special education department. Another one is FAPE, Free Appropriate Public Education. This is a big one as well. Essentially describes the services that are being provided by the public, paid for by the public, supervised by the public, and directed. So they are not having to pay for special education out of their own pockets. That all comes from the public school. The needs to be met standards by the state board, that must be state lawed. Here in Kansas, that's what we would follow. Must provide an IEP, which is an individualized educational plan that each student that is getting services will receive. Must include appropriate levels of education as well. Okay, parents will be provided notice of the IEP meeting. They will get that prior to the meeting. An evaluation of the child, IEP development, copy of the FAPE, the Free Appropriate Public Education Act, and the right of opportunity to be present at the meeting. The school must. They must make reasonable efforts towards the parents to understand what's going on and give them the opportunity to be and participate at the meeting. Obviously, this is basic, but get any interpreter for any language or deafness barriers that could come up. And both sides could agree to some a different form of a meeting, being phone or video conferencing if there's difficulties getting a hold of or getting the meeting taken care of. Some things that they would need consent versus not need consent. The consent needed to conduct the initial evaluation. They'll have to be referred, and that needs to be taken care of as well by the school, and they have to have consent from them, the parents. Conduct reevaluations, any provisions or services, substantial changes in placement if things are moving around, if they're not doing this anymore. Any changes in services given, or any services that are being added and or taken away. Consent when it's not needed. Just reviewing data from the student and or administering tests or any other form that would give them more data. So okay, so lastly here at Riverside, we want to communicate, have good communication, open communication, um, to the parents and vice versa. We want you to be aware of any changes that are being made with your child, um, per the law. But if anything else is going on, we want to be the first one to reach out, um, as well as if you're seeing any changes at home. We want your input for any improvement that we can make, changes that you think as a parent could help the student. And lastly, we are fully devoted to fulfilling all the duties to get the students the support that they need for success. Thank you very much. These were the references I used.